Breaking free, breaking through, rebellion, and originality are themes of the week of May the 6th through to the 12th. The astrology is lit up with that solar conjunction to Uranus in the sign of Taurus. Taurus being the very hot piece of our celestial real estate, where we recently had the Jupiter conjunction to Uranus. So we have a lot of intensity in the place. It's called your Taurus sky in your whole sign house natal chart and for the world at large. Now, I want you to know before we delineate this for your sign in the week ahead, I want you to understand that having the sun meet with Uranus in the sky, in the sign of Taurus, has happened since 2019 and will finish up in the spring of 2025. That is 7 occurrences in your lifetime. If you were alive in the 1930s and early 40s, you would have had this cycle as well of a 7-year or so repeating yearly condition in which the sun, moving through the Taurus part of our sky, bumps into Uranus. So I want you to get a vibe, guys, that this is new. Like we've seen the rise and fall and rise of cryptocurrency since this energy has been playing out with Uranus and Taurus in 2018, but meeting with the sun in 2019. And we've been seeing that Bitcoin go up and Bitcoin go down and crypto going deregulated and regulated because Uranus in the sign of money and currencies, Taurus and Earth indicate these kinds of intensities and changes and originality. What we have in our own lives here, okay, in our individual stories, is of course not about a currency, crypto or otherwise, but rather about prosperity, wealth, and what we need to ground ourselves in the world. Taurus, you know, the earthly pleasures of being alive, Venus's home kingdom. What's so great about it as well is Venus is at home in Taurus, midwifing this particular conjunction, or in other words, looking over it on it as she is in her home domicile, her home territory, and this is where this action is happening. So this gives it an acute strength, a really beautiful quality of a benefic planet allowing for this to happen. Caveat, Venus is invisible. So is Jupiter, by the way. And so these invisible parts of the sky indicate delays in results. So when we talk about today's week ahead, or this is happening, you'll start to feel this Thursday all the way through to Monday. It's most acute or exact around Saturday and Sunday, the 11th and the 12th. Depends on your time zone. But I do wonder if having an invisible Venus so close to the sun indicates a delay in the delivery of the goods. So whatever this breaking free, breaking through, originality, rebellious energy is when the sun and Uranus come together, it may require Venus to come out from under the beams of the sun in July and become a visible planet again in the morning sky, evening sky, as she becomes the evening star iteration. So just keep that in mind. But nonetheless, on this actual days of this happening, let's say Saturday and Sunday, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday, when it's very intense, it's very possible you're going to have some really incredible breakthroughs or really incredible in downloads or insights or a sense of something sparking for you in the Taurus part of your celestial real estate. We'll go into that sign by sign shortly. The other thing I want to talk about is the Sabian symbol. Oh, by the way, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Lori Lothian. I'm a Western tropical zodiac astrologer. This is not sidereal. I love whole sign houses, fixed stars, and minor asteroids. I put 30 videos out a month every year. If you're new to my channel, give me a try, hit that like button. If you're regular, welcome back. My only promotion in the month of May is sign up for my Cosmic Moonshine newsletter. Out on every Sunday, I'm doing draws to win free readings with me. You can't get a reading anyway now, I'm full, but you get a free reading. This reading will be in the fall, but you'll get the opportunity for a reading, free readings with me, free courses, access to my replay courses for free, and also my 2024 All Signs Bundle, $77 value. I'm giving these things away as a celebration of breaching the 60,000 mark of subscribers and just having a party and trying to entice you, lure you to my Cosmic Moonshine newsletter, a swig of weekly astrology news every Saturday. I write this, not an AI. And it's my written overview of the week ahead. Okay, so Ah, that's a big, deep sigh. Let's talk about the sky. Let me show you the sky. Let's go through the sky together. I do mundane astrology, which is world events, but I only spend maybe 5 or 10 minutes there before we do your sign. The Sabian symbol upon which this is occurring, right? Meaning that it's at 23 degrees of Taurus when the energy of the sun and Jupiter and Uranus combine forces. And the Sabian symbol, the channeled Sabian symbol for 24 degrees. You always round up with Sabian symbols. And these are 12 symbols channeled by Elsie Wheeler, and now they are considered like Zen koans, one for each degree of the zodiac. The 24th degree of Taurus is a mounted Indian with scalp locks. Oh God. Keyword, command. Keyword is command. The theme is the conqueror. And in the stepping stones on the book, she describes this as it being about authority, control, power, domination, leadership, superiority, command, mastery, skill, achievement, aggression, and headhunting. Well, that's a pretty dark theme, isn't it? We may expect some unexpected, shocking, Uranus, surprising, solar, world leader stories regarding scalping. Whoa, domination, control, and conquest during the time frame of, let's say, Thursday through Sunday. We have some wars going on, and we have some world leaders perpetuating atrocities. We might see something also to do with the ICJ arrest warrants that shocked the world, that they issue for, like, I know, Schmotrix and Ben-Gvir and Netanyahu and anybody else that they think is acting in a manner that involves war crimes. So we shall see what happens in the real world with that. But that is a bit of a shock and surprise with solar energy, world leader energy. Israel has its sun pretty near this Uranus conjunction, actually, if I remember correctly. Maybe we'll pull that up in the chart just for fun and take a look at that. So let's get the sky going, which is not great because the sun of Israel represents its governmental leader or leaders. And there's a shocking, a bit of alarming energy coming here into the sky. I've cued this, by the way. Renn Butler's The Archetypal Universe is my go-to handy little book that I use for everything. And he does say about the Sun-Uranus combination, heightened sense of freedom, autonomy, individuation, independence, unique opportunities for creative self-expression, unexpected breakthroughs and awakenings, and the brilliant light of rebirth. That aside, there's a dark side to everything, and the dark side will be erratic behavior, excessive urges for independence, inability to cooperate or to compromise with others. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. That is a Sun trine Uranus by Robert Frost. So there's a good way of looking at it. What happens when this sort of bolt of electricity hits us individually? Do we want to take a road that's unique, that's less traveled, that's Uranian, that's outside the sheeple, and you're moving in your own unique freak flag way? There can be that kind of quality to how you're feeling about life, rule breaking, rebellious, freedom, and breaking free and through things, Thursday through Sunday. Whoso would be a man must be a nonconformist by Emerson. These are people with Uranus and solar connections in their natal chart. And the solar brilliance of Greek civilization, the advent of individualism and democracy, secular and humanism, the Enlightenment. Those are some of the other elements of what we would call a Uranian solar combination, the Age of Enlightenment. Now, here we have the sky, and as you can see, we see that this is happening at 23 degrees, Sun and Uranus conjunct. Jupiter is moved on to the 26th degree from the conjunction that happened on April 21st and around 21 degrees of Taurus. And now Jupiter is invisible. See how the sun is so close to Jupiter? Let me annotate that. You can see that this little combination of planets, right? Venus, Sun, Uranus, and Jupiter, all bundled together. With the sun here, Venus is invisible. She will conjunct the sun on June 4th and be born again as an evening star, but she's combust. Well, she combusts. Let's go 5. Yep, she's within 8 degrees of the sun, so she's burning up, getting ready to die. She's on her deathbed. And as well, the sun is approaching Jupiter, and he's also combust. So we have the lesser and greater benefic invisible. I'm going to do a separate video on this. It'll probably come out midweek this week, maybe on Thursday. And I want you to listen to that because I'm going to talk about the death and rebirth of Jupiter and what it means for your sign, because Jupiter is an important planet and he's invisible and he won't be seen again in the sky. I mean, gosh, until early June. And so when he's invisible, some part of your chart that he's in charge of, the Pisces part of your chart, and of course, definitely his home kingdom of Sag is kind of offline, right? Like, oh my God, Twitter's down, Twitter's offline, or X. He's kind of offline for being able to govern anything visibly good in those parts of your sky. So we'll do a separate video on that. Now, that said, this is happening. The Sun and Uranus are coming together, and you may expect something of it this week, or you may expect something of it later on, as Venus, the governess of this thing, who owns the real estate, may deliver some more obvious results from this energy a little bit later on when she becomes visible in early July. But nonetheless, I do think Thursday through Sunday we'll see some shocking, erratic, accelerant, pouring some gasoline, some accelerant on words of rule breaking, rebellion, protests, breaking outside the boundaries of things, freedom, individually and collectively. Now, the nation of Israel is a Libra rising, just so you know. And this would be Israel's 8th house, and Israel's sun is here, pretty damn close to this conjunction. I may have the chart of Israel in this database here. Let me open it up just for curiosity, if not fun. Israel would be in my other database. Oh, hang on. I need to stop the share and get that chart up for us. Give me a sec. So the sun of the nation of Israel is in the 8th house of death and rebirth, among other things. And it also is at 23 degrees of Taurus. So, holy man, this is a big deal. This is going to really impact the leadership of the nation of Israel, the actual head honcho, the Prime Minister Netanyahu, especially, meaning king, world leader, Israel. And it's going to be very intense because it's happening right on that sun, like it's exact. Now, will it play out Thursday through Monday? Perhaps. Will it be delayed because Venus is invisible? Who knows? Will things that happen this weekend regarding Israel and its policies and its leaders have a reverb that really shows up more intensely in July when Venus becomes visible? It's in her house that it's happening, and she's also watching over it as this conjunction is occurring. But because it's shock and surprise, as well as breakthrough, freedom, and rebellion, let's see what happens. Let's all watch this together. Now, some people say, why do I always talk about the situation in the Middle East? Because it's the situation in the world. Sure, there's a war in Ukraine and Russia. Yes, that's happening over there. I covered all of that when the Ukraine-Russia war broke out. But right now, with Iran getting into the mix, Iran, we're in a place where we could end up, for goodness sakes, with a third world war. It is the story of the day. I can't cover every single story of every single war and every single world leader. So I'm captivated and horrified by the Gaza-Israel situation. So therefore, I am interested in it and I'm covering it. All right, so next. Back to the chart. I want to show it to you. And so we do have to note that this is a world event energy because of the solar placement of Israel's sun being conjunct this particular part of reality. Now, the other thing I want to mention about this is there is some interesting allowance for flow. While this conjunction happens, we can see that the moon is in a gentle flowing relationship from her home kingdom of Cancer, and at 16 degrees to 23 degrees, it's wide, but it's a 7-degree sextile, which is a positive support on the day of the conjunction, May the 12th, 2024, around 2 or 3 in the afternoon, Pacific Daily Time. So we could look for some events, therefore, on Sunday. Okay, don't forget, we're feeling this conjunction building on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We feel it into Monday, and this is a Sunday story. The other thing I would note is that we can see there's some, and I took some planets out, guys. I took out Mars and a bunch of people in Aries to simplify the chart. Ceres is a goddess of agriculture, the harvest, things that grow. She's a rescuing mother, got her daughter out of hell, but she's also the archetype of I see her as a sickle, right? She has to harvest or reap something. And I literally have seen her act like a sickle or a harvesting energy. So what is it we want to harvest or reap or sow? But it's really the reaping energy of harvesting something in our lives. in a positive way. And I'm going to do that for your sign. A surprising, shocking, delightful opportunity to harvest something in our lives connected to the Capricorn part of the sky, as well as to the Taurus part of our sky. And that's how we're going to delineate all signs. In the nation of Israel, the fourth house is the part of the sky that is Capricorn. So therefore, there is some kind of reaping, sickle, harvesting energy going on here as well, regarding the land and land holdings of the nation of Israel. But we still have that surprise, shock, and awe on the sun or the leadership of the nation of Israel. So we'll see how that looks and what that could be. I have no idea. Time will tell. Okay, and what else can I say about this story? Overall, we only have one more left, right? I told you in the beginning that this connection of the sun to Uranus is every year, usually April or May, starting in 2019. 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There will be 7 in total. The last one is spring of 25. And none of us is likely to live for another 84 years for Uranus to come back into Taurus. So I want you to go with the idea that you have been renovated. There's a massive sort of kind of breaking out, breaking free, breaking through energy, being original, finding the way through something that breaks out of the mold. We've all been feeling that for ourselves in our Taurus part of our sky since 2019. The sun can represent the divine intelligence of the universe. And the sun is going to always come through this part of the sky and break up stagnation when it meets with Uranus. Starting in 2026, that sun conjunction to Uranus story will be in Gemini for 6, 7, 8 years. So it's a whole new ball game. We're getting to the tail end of a longer story. Let's break it down for each single sign. We'll start, of course, with Aries, sun, moon, and rising. Okay, the sun is going to be meeting with the shock and awe of Uranus in your second house of earnings. There are some money, earnings, possessions, and financial resources coming to you in a positive, surprising way. That's Venus there, overshadowing everything with her goodness. Yes, she's invisible. Some of the surprises may play out more directly in the month of July, early July, when she becomes a visible planet again. Nonetheless, you could look through Thursday through Sunday through some shocking, surprising elements, especially on Sunday, Monday, around your finances. Now, I would say because there is this flow to Ceres in the 10th house, this is career related. This is not money coming from, the local lottery win. This is something to connect it to your career. I'll give it one more caveat though. The sun is the lord of your 5th house of lottery wins. Eek. So maybe you're going to win the lottery and quit your job. Ceres is cut and scythe. So I have to back that up. Hey, Aries, sun, moon, and rising. All right, especially Aries rising, you may cut away from your job, harvest away, because you have such financial bounty through a unexpected financial fortune. The house of good fortune, the 5th house, can be gambling monies or winning money, that kind of thing, competitive ways to get money or gambling or speculative ways to receive funding. And there's that surprise. Now, the sun becomes very excited here with the Venus and Uranus Jupiter story to make things bigger, better, and more lovely for us all, right? These are all the energies within the Taurus sphere. So there can be almost like a splash, an overflow of something to do with joyful, enthusiastic, surprising, and unexpected financial prosperity for many of you, Aries. As we look at this week ahead, especially as we close in on the weekend, I would go even Thursday. Engagement starts on Thursday through to Monday. Alrighty. So in your own time zone, adjust accordingly. In my time zone, what I'm talking about is the 9th of May to the 13th of May. Finally, if you go, oh, nothing ever happens for me, astrology doesn't work, please listen for your rising. It's going to be more accurate than your sun and moon. Second of all, of course, you have a unique chart. If you have a debilitated natal Venus, for example, this may not work for you. Or if she's in aversion when you're in your natal sky. So there's very many personal factors, guys. But as a general theme, expect some unexpected positive resources coming to you in a positive, exciting way. With the flow to the moon, it may involve property, land, home, and real estate, or the ability to suddenly get a possession for your home and nest that brings you great safety, security, comfort, and excitement. Let me know in the comments how this plays out for you. Oops. Wow, it's not letting me move ahead by an hour. Give me a sec. Mm-hmm. Oh, the software is so glitchy lately, guys. Oh, I know why. I pinned it to Aries. I do this every single time. Whole sign houses. Okay. Oh, I'm going to sneeze again. Sorry, it's a little allergy season here in Vancouver with some trees blossoming. And I'm not doing too badly compared to the past, so I'm really happy with that. Let's go back to Taurus. All right, Taurus, sun, moon, and rising sign. So, of course, Venus is your Lord. She's at home in your sign of you, making you more charming, more effervescent, more beautiful. But she is invisible, so it's got a lot of inner work going on here for you, less outer and more inner beauty and inner love and inner self-love trying to be expressed through you at this time. At the same time, the Uranus Sun conjunction for that rebellious breaking free and breaking through, coloring outside the lines and all of that is going to be happening here on around the 12th, give or take, 3 days before the 12th and a couple days after. Unexpected surprises and insights because it's happening to you as you. You could have big aha moments, that old cartoon light bulb on the head of the cartoon character where they have an aha, a eureka, a download, or a new idea or a new understanding. This is inside of you. You are having it happen. If it's your sun, it's about your career. If it's your moon, it's about your home, for example, or body. But if you're a Taurus rising, it's about you, all about you. And this energy is also connected to some flow, to Ceres. What do you want to reap or harvest or create a fruitful abundance of, the harvest vibe? In your ninth house of higher education and foreign travel and things to do with courts and legal matters, and maybe things to do with father figures as well. And so there's a sort of positive, exciting surprise here for you regarding those ninth house themes as they relates to your first house. And then we look at the moon. The moon is saying in this position, in the flowing relationship on the 12th, that maybe what the big energy of unexpected breakthrough and break free also is connected to third house placements. And this is the moon in her home temple, in her home kingdom of Cancer. She's in the temple of the moon, her own kingdom, but also in the house of her joy. She's a very strong moon for you. And you may have some kind of breakthrough with a sibling, a neighbor, a neighborhood situation, a writing project, a learning or educational endeavor, breaking through. And maybe relationships within your extended family, aunts, uncles, cousins, and nieces, bringing some kind of surprise to your life around the time of this conjunction on May 12th. Give it 3 days before and 2 days after. And the sun is the lord of your fourth house of home, property, and real estate. And the surprise may take you back towards issues to do with property, rentals, private life, domestic life, things you do in your home. Positive, though, because of Venus in co-presence here, positive surprises and unexpected developments regarding your domicile and your private home life and where you live and what you do. And maybe it could be a surprising opportunity for a better home. Gemini, sun, moon, and a rising sign especially. So there's an unexpected, surprising development here. Remember, I told you in the beginning, you started to feel these things reverbing through the sky, in 2019. It's not a one and done. There's a sense of originality, breaking free and freedom that comes from that 12th house. So a lot of you Geminis may have been working over the last few years on things to get rid of your addiction, self-undoing bad habits and patterns and breaking free. But also if you make money internationally through borderless income and international sources, that's also an area of break free and breakthrough as well for the last few years. And here we have the second to last conjunction. Venus is midwifing it, which is wonderful, looking on, even if she's invisible. And there's a dramatically beautiful flow to the goddess of the harvest here in the eighth house. Looks like some chunky money can be coming your way as a result of this exciting, surprising energy of the Uranus Sun conjunction. But wait for that breaking free of that money, maybe even to be delayed until July because of Venus's invisibility. But things that are happening now are germane to perhaps break financial abundance harvest breakthroughs. You might harvest money through an inheritance, through a tax rebate, or through a situation with an insurance payout, or through money shared with another person. As well as the moon, by the way, in the house of earnings in her home temple and your possessions. This looks really good in your money story. It forms a gorgeous wedge. So looking like money matters and 12th house matters are luminously lovely for you. Look for some surprises there financially, and some surprises in terms of being willing or able to break free and break through addiction, self-undoing, and bad patterns and habits. Just because the 12th house is the house of hospitals, and because the sun isn't usually a solar or male figure, and we do see some inheritance potentials. I'm not saying this is good or bad, right? I'm just saying you could be some surprises from somebody in a hospital, and the idea of you receiving money from that person, or some abundance. And again, will the money show up right away? Maybe not. Maybe the money will show up in July or onward as Venus becomes more visible. The sun is a ruler of your third house of siblings and short distance travel, skills-based learning, the neighbors, the neighborhood, and your daily routines. Some disruption perhaps to your daily routines and your daily local environment, neighborhood, coming through a little shocking way, a little surprising way during this time of the 12th of Sunday, the 12th of May, 3 days before and 2 days after. Cancer, sun, moon, and rising. So reminding everybody that this has been ongoing as a conjunction since 2019, ends in 25. You've been getting electric jolts of unexpected and freedom-loving originality in your 11th house of larger social groups and friendships. You probably had some unexpected changes in your friendship circles and groups, and also some new erratic and different and wild types of friendships that you've engaged in. But you also receive salary or money or gains from your career here. You may have had unexpected changes in this, very original, new inventive directions for how you create money from your career, and unexpected and radical changes of your long-range goals and dreams for your life. These have all been under Uranian solar renovation since 2019 and closing out next spring. The energy here can suggest, with Venus watching over it, that you may have some surprising developments through and with positive and abundant and plentiful surprising developments through or with an elder sibling, or a friend who is a benefactor or ally towards you. And this reverb says it flows to the moon in the temple of her own kingdom, in the house of you. You are going to physically benefit and materially benefit and emotionally benefit from this surprise that's happening around Sunday, the 12th, 3 days before and after, in the very merry month of May. Now, other things about the invisibility of Venus is some of the more tangible financial goodness, because 11th house can be windfalls and pennies from heaven, may not be actually delivered to your doorstep until July, but the knowledge that it's coming could surprisingly break through in this week ahead, or on Sunday especially. The flow from Ceres, the goddess of the harvest, says you're reaping and harvesting things out of that 7th house. That can be your larger social groups that are connected to your work, like your clients, your audience, your marketplace, and some kind of harvesting there, or within your marriage or long-term committed love. But it's a flowing harvest, a flowing reaping, and not a difficult one at that. So whatever is being harvested within the context of significant relationships feels positive. Now, I would also note that the sun is the Leo ruler of your 2nd house of possessions, including I possess money, I possess a sofa, I possess a car. These possessions are exciting. In India, the 2nd house is your family of origin. That's also got some nice shocks and surprises, especially if it's coming from an elder sibling. Hey, I won the lottery and let me give you some money. I'm hoping for that because my sister's a Cancer rising, her older sister. Leo, sun, moon, and rising sign. So basically what goes on here is go back, 2019, and it finishes in 25. There's a once in a lifetime cycle of events where Sun and Uranus agitate, break out, break free, disrupt, electrify your 10th house of reputation, career, and visible actions in the world. It's where you want to be successful and you want to achieve things, and other people will note you're doing it with applause. So you've had some erratic energy and some big change and some excitement here since 2019. And here it comes again. Venus is watching on, midwifing. I expect July for sure to bring more results from this conjunction when she's visible, but at this point she's still co-present and she's giving it her blessing. So her secret deals are going on in the workspace. This could literally look like a surprising work salary increase, offer, new job, favor from a boss, some kind of leveling up in your professional status in an exciting and surprising way, starting around, of course, it's exact on Sunday, but give it 3 days before and a couple of days after. Now, there's a flow to the moon in the 12th house of foreign shores and far off lands and international barter and trade. And there's a flow, this is a wedge, by the way, from Ceres, the goddess of the harvest in the 6th house of work and work routines. Certainly, number one, if you need to get rid of an addiction, because this axis brings addictions to the forefront, you can do it. But if you're not working on that, this looks like a work situation and a career story emerging here. Money from foreign shores and foreign lands in a blessed way, temple moon in her own temple can increase that kind of revenue in your career during this surprising, energizing conjunction. We want to note that the sun is the ruler of the kingdom of Leo, and that's the house of your sense of self. Now, if you're a Leo sun, it's about your career. If you're a Leo moon, it's about body and home. But if you're Leo rising, it's all about you. And where that sun has domicile rulership is also going to be where this shock and awe can be easily deposited by the sun. So you may have some surprising, oh my God, inherent electric currents of new understanding or insights into your own self as well. All right, Virgo, sun, moon, and rising sign. So happening on the yearly since 2019, finishing up next year, is the sun co-joining with Uranus in the sign of Taurus. This is exciting, electrifying energy that flows to you in a super positive way. It is connected to campuses and colleges and higher education, book publishing and publications in general, religious institutions, churches, mosques, etc., and religious people, including pastors and rabbis and, imams and stuff like that. So, your spiritual cohorts up there. This is also the house of foreign lands and travel and foreign shore journeys. So all of those things are going to be electrifying and surprising you. Don't forget, it's most exact on Sunday the 12th, but then you can go 3 days before and a couple days after. Where is this shock and awe coming from? Your 9th house. Now, Jupiter and Venus can connect to bounty, right? Some bounty up here, some plentiful energy. It's a Lakshmi luck house, and it's also a prosperity house in India. So you get this energy of a sort of an electrical current that could bring you some very significant financial prosperity, perhaps from a father figure. The sun is up there, and this is a house of father figures in Indian astrology. Possibly here, you could have some surprises in your educational environment that delight and surprise you and feel really positive. And if you are somebody involved in legal and court matters, a surprising win or a surprising positive turn of events regarding courts and judges. Now, honestly, as well, just the vibe of finding one's path in life can be here, the dharma, the path you're here to tread, to be on purpose, to have meaning in your life. And there may be some deeper insights into that during this week ahead, especially as we approach Sunday. We're harvesting something from the 5th house. We're reaping and harvesting. The series, the sickle goddess is here. And we could harvest a positive outcome in this house of good fortune and this house of luck, to do with financial luck, to have some experience of a financial lucky moment coming your way where you feel like you won the jackpot. At the same time, the element of the moon, which, by the way, in her home kingdom temple is very powerful up here, can indicate some positive developments with an elder sibling, friend, ally, or benefactor, or a sudden pickup in some positive groups of associations, your friendship circles. Now, technically, having this series opposite, the moon, that forms a wedge, and it really does say that mother figures here, because Ceres is in the house of children and the moon is the mother. Mother figures are also benefiting you financially or in other positive ways, almost like windfalls or pennies from heaven may be occurring for you. Now, if you don't have a mother figure, not to worry. It's just could be a female friend who's very nurturant and very mama hen energetic, or even a man who carries the archetype of the mother very strongly in their being could be very beneficial towards you reaching some of your long-range meaning of life plans. On a practical note, guys, you just may have an unexpected opportunity to travel. The sun is the ruler of the Leo part of the sky, which is your house of foreign lands and far off places. And again, some of you may be getting some travel under your belt as a result of this unexpected, exciting energy. If that's true, though, I wonder if you will need to wait for July when Venus is visible to understand more deeply or be able to enact the travel opportunity. Libra, sun, moon, and rising. Here we go. You're ruled by Venus, and here we have it. Venus is sitting here midwifing this conjunction. Go back to 2019 spring all the way through to next May of 2025. These are the 7 conjunctions in your lifetime of Sun and Uranus in the sign of Taurus. This is good for your finances. Chunky money lives here. This is investments in the stock market. This is shared money with a partner, business and love. This is money from inheritances, tax rebates, insurance payouts. Unearned income often comes in a chunk. You're not earning it directly. I even include royalty income here, or derivative income, passive income, money that you're not doing like a dollars per hour vibe. And you're sharing the resources with the bank, the mortgage, right? The other people's money as well. So breakthroughs in this part of the sky. It's really a financial story. With Jupiter here, by the way, since last year, all the way through to this end of May, this has been kind of the inheritance transit, or the ability to generate unexpected chunks of positive financial outcome for yourself. There is a flow to something you want to reap and harvest, to do with home, property, land, and real estate. Someone could unexpectedly want to buy your place. You could unexpectedly decide to sell a home. You may unexpectedly decide it's time to rent a home out, or incur yourself and get yourself into a new rental. The finances all line up. The moon, the temple of the moon, she's in her home, she's in her kingdom, in the top of the sky, can bring you a boost of public popularity and appeal within your visible career and reputation space around the 12th of the month, give or take 3 days before and 2 after. With this moon here, you might literally just suddenly show up very, it's not a highly visible moon yet. It's the waxing crescent, but the waxing crescent has extreme energy. So an extreme, like, showing up in your career and bringing you a bit of a glow up. But I think with this harvesting in the 4th house, some of you are definitely making some significant changes regarding what you do in and from your home, or even of the home itself. But because the finances are so positive, not to worry. The sun, by the way, rules your 11th house of groups of friends and career gains. And so unexpected career gains could come through that don't look like paycheck stuff. Could be like a performance review bonus pay, or if you're an entrepreneur, a sudden surge of money coming from something that you didn't see predict happening. So there's definitely that. Some of your friends and social groups may unexpectedly, or elder sibling, also light up for you around the 12th with some kind of financial positivity for you. Like a friend says, I want to, give you this money here, or something like that. So let me know what happens, guys. This is the problem with Uranus. It's always a surprise, right? And we try to predict the unpredictable. We try to pretend that we are able to predict what Uranus is going to do, but it's hard. All right, so Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising, the god of electrified, sudden, unexpected breaking free and through, since 2019 has been meeting with the sun in your 7th house of marriage, business partners, audience, and marketplace. Now, certainly, if you're an artist, this could give you viral breakthroughs, right? Uranus rules the internet. And this may be on Sunday the 12th, 3 days before and after, something you're doing in the internet world creatively, and it just goes crazy viral. But it's also the house of your marriage. And I think a lot of you Scorpios might go back to 2019 when we had the first sun conjunction here, and go, my marriage type relationship got more erratic, unconventional, rule breaking. So I know a Scorpio, they went kind of open marriage for a bit of time in 2018, 19. 1920. So where 2019 and 20. So where this energy is playing out is where things are outside the box of the normative. And this is your marriage house. Now, it can be that your marriage type partner, the long-term committed love person, is having their own aha, revelation, breakthrough, or unexpected developments, not even about you on the 12th, which is a Sunday. Give it 3 days before and after. So, don't always make it about you. The seventh house is even your clients and customers. The flow to the moon up here in the ninth house and to Ceres here in the third house. Let's address that. I mean, the moon is a waxing crescent in your ninth house of publications, foreign travel, spiritual beliefs. And over here is Ceres in the house of your short distance travel, skills-based education, things to do with siblings, younger especially, and extended family and neighbors and neighborhood. All said and done, big changes can be coming through the relational axis of seventh house stories to influence positive developments regarding churches, foreign lands, foreign travel, third marriages, spiritual belief and philosophy, publications and book publications. But also, hey, what is this going on here that you're reaping some harvest in the neighborhoods part of the chart, your daily life, your everyday life. Suggesting, by the way, with Pluto lingering your fourth house, some of you are wanting to move and change your neighborhood, but we'll cover that in another video. The temple of the sun is Leo, and Leo is your 10th house of career and reputation. Things going on with your clients, audience, and marketplace, and or your significant other may electrify and shock or surprise you around the 12th of the month of May, 3 days before and after, and have a reverb effect on your career and reputation space. Because you have legal contracts here, this could be an unexpected contract in the workspace for a new job, or an unexpected offer or contract about the current job and a new set of terms of work or circumstances around your work. So you can have some unexpected work situation changes as well this week. Sagittarius, sun, moon, and rising. Don't forget, you've been having this like all signs since 2019, and we'll finish in 2025. Sun conjunct Taurus, Uranus combo in Taurus. So where have you had all this erratic, unexpected change regarding work and health matters, especially the workhouse? This is the office, coworkers, colleagues, etc. in the sky for you. I know one Sag who retired out here and left his job and moved to Portugal, for goodness sakes. I mean, so a lot of kind of risk-taking, rebellious, freedom-loving energy here. You also can consider that because it is a health and sickness area of the chart, you've had some erratic and unexpected health challenges that kind of took you by surprise. But now we have Venus overlooking this conjunction, and while she is invisible, she will be able to maybe deliver the goods in July of an unexpected, surprising work and career job opportunity. Because pets are here, you may have unexpected developments this week ahead, exact on the 12th regarding a pet, or you may find yourself unexpectedly or surprisingly able to eliminate debt. The moon in the house of banks and mortgages, and this is a debt house. The moon is in her happy kingdom, and she's also waxing. So an increase in your ability to pay down debt in a sudden and unexpected and surprising way could emerge this week ahead, especially closer to Sunday. As well, you can see that there is a beautiful flow to Ceres, the goddess of harvest, in the house of earnings and resources and possessions. And so some of you may find yourself, for example, selling a possession and commanding a great deal of money for that possession, or selling or harvesting or reaping some kind of financial goodness regarding work situations, perhaps. I mean, when I see Ceres here, some of you may leave a job suddenly, quit a job suddenly, but you also get some kind of financial benefits from it. So maybe there's a severance package here. Alrighty, and because the sun is the ruler of your ninth house, there may be some unexpected legal opportunities or legal outcomes that look positive, some unexpected foreign shore travel opportunities, or some unexpected opportunities regarding higher education, or even to do with a third like marriage environment. You're in a partnership that's your third marriage, unexpected surprising developments there as well. I think that's about it. We're moving into our next sign. I tried to get this done in a pithy way because I'm having a Tibetan bowl sound healing with my acupuncturist today. And I just love it. I love both acupuncture, moxibustion, and the Tibetan bowls all over my body as I fall asleep during the thing every single time. Okay. So I'm just going to take a break from the astrology, self-care. Don't forget to hit the like button if you're in the live premiere, and don't forget to subscribe to this. This is my every weekly Monday. When I was living in Montreal, we had the pandemic, self-care and exercise went out the window. And it's just been in the last year that I've been able to get back to any sense of tending this mortal coil. All right, Capricorn, sun, moon, and rising sign. It's an exciting, reverbing, unexpected positive energy in your fifth house of children. And honestly, with both Venus here and Jupiter, it could be an announcement of a birth of a child or a pregnancy. If you are one of the people who could be pregnant or your partner could be pregnant, that's happening here. You've had this erratic, unexpected, shocking, surprising quality since 2019 in that fifth house of children, fertility, pregnancy, creativity, sexuality, and romance. A lot of you have gone outside the box in what you think is a comfortable place for your romantic and sexual life. I know a Capricorn who went deep into the Tantra world having sex with strangers. Totally not a Cap thing, nor is it a Taurus fifth house thing, except Uranus is there. So you're going to find that this has been true. You've been like willing to color outside the lines, break free, break through in your romantic and sexual life. Now, there's a surprising element here with Venus midwifing it, but she's not quite visible. So we'll see how that looks. And maybe she'll show you more of the outpicturing of this in July when she becomes a visible planet again. However, in this short term, Sunday, the 12th, give it, 3 days before and a couple days after, this is a shock or a surprise, but it's also a financial fortune house. It rules gaming and lotteries and casinos and ways of speculative money earnings and gains. And it's also Venus in the house of her joy. So of all signs, you guys have the lottery ticket win signature here. Just letting you know, if you want to take a chance, know your limit, play within it, but buying a lottery ticket this week wouldn't be such a bad idea. You're going to be unexpectedly surprised by some kind of good fortune. Again, a birth of a grandchild is especially possible as well if one of your children is to announce suddenly a shocking and surprising pregnancy. If you're single and looking for love, this would be a shocking, surprising, color outside the lines, new love story trying to incubate this week. So let's see what happens. You have this really great flow, this really great connection to Ceres at 21 here as we move through time. We're on May 13th now. This would be Monday. We're still at 23 degrees, so May 12th, 13th. It's in play. And you could find yourself extremely excited here by some kind of thing that you wish to harvest, that you wish to reap, that you're the one taking the bounty from the sickle and you're pulling in the harvest or the crops of goodness. So you would say you feel like you've just harvested a lucky strike or a financial bonus of some sort. Or you're feeling like you're harvesting the romance of a lifetime. Certainly, it could be good for a sexual encounter that really takes you into something luminous, illuminating, enlightening, and shocking. A third eye encounter with your romantic partner, for example. And the moon is in her temple and she's in your seventh house of marriage. Therefore, significant long-term love stories are very highlighted in a positive, surprising way this week ahead. And as Sunday approaches into Monday as well, you might experience this also as a customer or a client or an audience member, because the moon can be also the people as well in the house of others. And if you're an artist or creative type, you may have some sweet breakthrough because the muse and the artistic as well as the entrepreneurial world is the fifth house. And the moon here could light you up with your customers, your audience, your marketplace, and you might have a great breakthrough energy in how you're able to reach them. Don't forget, we get joy in the fifth house, and pure enjoyment and pleasure is Venus's story anyway. And Jupiter is jovially there. Yeah, they're invisible. So they're subtle, but I will be doing the invisible Jupiter video shortly. It's kind of maybe like a hidden giddy glee that will really express itself more fully as both planets become visible again. June for Jupiter and July for Venus. The temple of the moon is your eighth house of chunky money. What kind of chunk of money is a lottery inheritance? It's certainly not earned income, money you share with the government because the government's put the lotteries on. Or if it's a hospital lottery, for example, if we have them here, then the hospital's money. I mean, you're sharing the money with another entity. So yeah, I mean, because the sun is the lord of the eighth house of chunky money, unexpected financial fortunes and chunky money ahead for you guys. Yes, it's been happening on the yearly, so it's nothing new, but we did have the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction seed something special here. So let's see what happens. Aquarius, sun, moon, and rising sign. I am one of you. I'm an Aquarius rising. This is a story of a conjunction that happens every year since 2019 in our home and home life stories. It's been an erratic time of lots of unexpected and surprising changes of home for me. Probably many of you can relate. Like my landlord decides to suddenly sell the house and whatever. I've had so many unexpected, my other landlord decides she's going to come home and needs her place back. All this unexpected, surprising stuff has been happening here. Now, this particular time, it means it's the second to last one. We have one more in 2025. We have Venus midwifing, invisible, but midwifing it from close at hand. We have Jupiter here. This is a very auspicious bundle of planets, though they are invisible and not yet fully operational. It's giving us a kind of June, July outpicturing of some of the benefits of a surprising development regarding home, property, land, and real estate and private life matters that is going to be more exact on the weekend on, let's say, Sunday the 12th, give or take, and Monday the 13th, give or take 3 days before and a couple of days after. And you could say that because there is this flow to the moon in the sixth house of health matters, debt, and rental situations and tenancies and pets, unexpected, surprising, but positive situations with pets, rentals, tenancies, the work life situation, the health situation, and even debt, even the ability to like have a debt payment paid down, especially if it connects to property or home or land or real estate or legacy wealth from a family of origin member coming to you through this time frame. The Ceres energy is like a harvesting energy of something that you wish to harvest. You could have some financial bonus points regarding the home by harvesting money that comes from international and foreign sources, revenues, and corporations. Like maybe you, like me, do internet based income, digital income, and digital business, and you don't need to have a border to your income sources. Ceres can help you harvest or release yourself from some addiction or self-undoing in a very dramatic and sudden way as you release the pleasures you associate with your life in your home. I do want to say as well, because the sun is the lord of your seventh house of audience, marketplace, and significant business and love partnerships, that part of your sky is also getting an incredible amount of zap, because as the sun continually shocks up the fourth house with Uranus, the sun also can send some of that current to your seventh house. And the seventh house can be legal contracts as well. So unexpected legal contracts regarding homeland, property, and real estate. I honestly don't expect this to be the full Monty on the weekend, because I am suspicious of invisible Venus here. So again, some of these surprises may be seeded, but the outpicturing, as I mentioned earlier, for most people will come in the month of July as Venus rises as the evening star. And we see her in the sky, or sets as the evening star, and we see her in the sky. Okay, so that's my take, and we're moving on to the Pisces, the best and always best. Pisces, sun, moon, and rising sign. So you have a special relationship like Libra and Taurus with Venus. She's the exaltation lord for your sign. So you do need to keep your eye on her. Ever since 2019, she's been reverbing with your Uranus through surprising, unexpected freedom and breakthroughs in your third house. What is your third house? It's a house of the younger siblings in general, aunts, uncles, cousins, nieces and nephews, extended family, neighbors and neighborhood, things to do with your online social media type world, writing projects, communicating projects, selling and buying can be here as well. Also, your third house is a daily fishbowl in which you swim. It's your daily routines. It's where you go on the daily. I go down to the store, I go to my gym, I do my thing. That's your daily, everyday life. It's also short distance travel and skills-based learning. All of these meanings have been giving you unexpected surprises since 2019. And What I'm saying here is it's no different. With invisible Venus, though, maybe some of the surprises become more obvious to you in this area of the sky in the month of July. The moon is in her temple in the sign of Cancer. I know it doesn't look like that. Let me fix the chart. And therefore, this is going to be very good news or exciting developments regarding your children. Now, this can be a fertility transit if you're a Pisces of a fertile age as a man or a woman, and you may conceive a child with this, or you may have some really good news coming from a child already that you have, or some really good information or exciting developments lunation-wise to do with things to do with entrepreneurial and creative projects that you're doing in the local neighborhood or in the online world. Because Ceres is in the 11th house and she's harvesting something, there may be some kind of positive reaping of rewards, both from your career path financially, as well as from an elder sibling or a friend who benefits you by being out to support you like an ally, right? Or benefactor. So those kinds of people, like an elder sibling, are being very supportive of things. And you may have an unexpected travel opportunity or neighborhood development or things to do with neighbors and neighborhood emerge around the weekend, Sunday, exact, give or take 3 or 4 days on either side. Really give it 3 days before and 2 days after. The sun is the lord of your 6th house of work and health. And work and health things take a surprisingly positive turn as well at the end of this week. The sun is also the ruler of the house of debts and also the house of pets, and debts and pets can be exciting and innovated this week ahead. You can look to the 3rd house people like a cousin, sibling, neighbor to benefit you personally, because of course the 3rd house flows to your Pisces real estate, and you may have some really great benefits in your life, including prosperity from those kinds of people. And you'll be learning more about that on the weekend and some of the actual receipt of financial bounty through those extended family members may not appear on your doorstep until July, when Venus can deliver the goods as a visible money goddess. Because the sun is in the house, the moon is in the house of children, and that is your children, and the moon represents home. There's some suggestions that there may be some positive developments around the word home or domicile and children, and their developments regarding that, like your child finds a perfect dream home or buys a home, or some good news for your children here as well. All right. Thanks for listening, Pisces, and everyone else. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and don't miss a thing. Don't miss a thing. Thanks, guys. I will have my next video coming out this week on the invisible Jupiter story. It's a big deal. He's going to be born again in the heart of the sun on the 18th of May. And tomorrow, and the video I'm putting out on this Thursday is going to go deep diving into what this means for you in the sign in which his rebirth is occurring, which is Taurus, which is a very powerful part of our real estate these days. Take care, everybody. I'll see you in the next video. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. And thank you to all my regulars who are here on the regular. Ciao, ciao.